Okay, take a look at the jewelry you're wearing right now. That ring, those earrings, they feel like a super personal choice, don't they? Well, what if I told you they're not random at all? Today, we're going to dive into how your jewelry box is basically a crystal ball, a collection of signals that tells us exactly where our culture, our tech, and even our economy are heading.
I mean, really think about it. What if that gold chain you love, or those lab-grown diamonds you've been eyeing, weren't just pretty accessories? What if they were actual clues, like a roadmap to the future? Could we actually learn to read them?
Well, the answer is yes, you absolutely can. And trust me, once you learn how to spot these signals, you'll start seeing them everywhere. It's kind of wild, so let's break down exactly how it all works.
All right, first things first. Before we can get into the nitty-gritty of, chunky rings or those permanent bracelets everyone's getting, we have to zoom way out. We need to look at the big picture, the massive forces that are shaping everything behind the scenes. We're talking about the megatrends.
So, think of these as like the 5 giant tectonic plates shifting under the entire industry. First up, there's this huge, powerful demand for sustainability. Then, you've got the total digital transformation of shopping. We're talking everything from AI to trying on rings with your phone's camera. There's also a major generational shift. Millennials and Gen Z, they're all about affordable luxury. And finally, 2 huge cultural waves, this deep, deep need for personalization, and something really important, the growing economic power of women, who are buying jewelry for themselves, not waiting for someone else to do it.
And this is where it gets really cool, because this is how we connect the dots. You see, a huge, kind of abstract idea like digital transformation doesn't just live in a boardroom somewhere. Nope, it lands right on your phone as a TikTok video that suddenly makes you want a certain necklace. That big idea of sustainability, that becomes a very personal value, that little voice in your head asking, hey, where did this diamond actually come from?
And this right here, this is probably the single most powerful driver behind everything. It's not just about getting a ring for an engagement anymore. Not at all. Today, jewelry is all about self-expression. It's a statement piece, but the statement is about you. People, and especially women, are buying incredible pieces for themselves, to celebrate their own wins, their own milestones, to define their own style on their own terms.
Okay, so now that we've got that foundation laid, let's zoom back in. Let's talk about what's happening right now, today. Because all those big forces we just mentioned, they translate directly into the stuff people are actually adding to their carts, creating these really clear, really strong signals in the market.
And these are what we call the strong signals. These are the trends that are already here, they're well established, and they're pretty much defining the market as we speak. And I guarantee you've seen them everywhere. We're talking about the absolute boom in lab-grown diamonds, the fact that we're all shopping for jewelry online now, and of course those delicate, minimalist, stackable pieces that are perfect for that personalization we were just talking about.
So let's dig into the whole diamond debate for a second, because it's the perfect example of this in action. On one hand, you've got lab-grown diamonds just exploding in popularity. Why? Because they tick all the boxes for modern values. They're ethical, they're traceable, they're more affordable. But at the exact same time, mined diamonds are still hugely in demand. That's because when the economy gets a little shaky, people crave tangible investments that have a proven history. So you've got 2 very different products, both winning, for reasons that go right back to those big forces we talked about.
Yeah, and speaking of investments, the #1 trend that screams economic uncertainty is the massive return to gold. And let's be clear, this is not just a style choice. This is a direct, gut-level reaction to a world that feels a bit wobbly. We just naturally gravitate towards things that feel real, tangible, and have held their value for, forever. Gold is basically a security blanket you can wear.
And then you have the other side of the coin, the micro-trends. These are the super fast-moving styles that are just flooding your Instagram and TikTok feeds right now. You know what I'm talking about? Reinvented pearls, celestial everything, moons, stars, you name it. That whole rule-breaking vibe of mixing gold and silver, bright, colorful enamel pieces, chunky rings, and oh my gosh, the comeback of charm necklaces and tennis bracelets. They're fun, they're expressive, and they move at the speed of a viral video.
And maybe the biggest micro-trend to blow up into a full-on phenomenon? Permanent jewelry. It's brilliant because it's not just a product, it's an experience. You go with your bestie, you pick out a chain, and they literally weld it onto your wrist. It's like the high-tech friendship bracelet for the 21st century, and it is perfectly designed to be shared all over social media.
So just to be clear, what exactly is a microtrend? Think of it this way. It's a style that just explodes out of nowhere.
usually thanks to social media influencers. And it's supercharged by stuff like buy now, pay later services that make it ridiculously easy for you to just jump on the bandwagon the second you see it.
Okay, so we've looked at the big forces and what's happening right now. But what about tomorrow? What's next? This is where we start looking for the weak signals, those little whispers of what's just around the corner. And believe me, this is where it gets really interesting.
I like to think of the future of jewelry as a kind of ladder. On the first rung, you've got 3D printing, which is going to unlock this insane level of personalization, pieces made literally just for you. Climb up a step and you get to smart jewelry. And I'm not just talking about counting your steps. I mean beautiful rings and bracelets that seamlessly track your health and wellness. And at the very top, NFT and digital jewelry. Yep, as we all spend more time in the metaverse, we're going to want to accessorize our digital selves too.
And it's not just the jewelry itself that's changing, it's how we own it. This idea of a circular economy is really taking hold. What does that mean? Well, it means we're going to see way more options to just rent a showstopper necklace for a big event. The resale market for pre-loved pieces is going to get even bigger, and we'll see more services to refurbish the jewelry we already have instead of just buying something new. It's all about being more sustainable and just smarter about how we consume.
Oh, and there's one more quiet signal you really need to be watching: the massive growth in men's and gender-neutral jewelry. Seriously, the old rules are just dissolving. That powerful need for self-expression we've been talking about, it's becoming totally universal, and it's opening up this huge, exciting new world of creativity.
Whew, okay. We have covered a lot of ground. Megatrends, strong signals, weak signals, a peek into the future. So, what's the bottom line here? How do we wrap all this up into something you can actually use?
Well, for you, the shopper, here's what this all means for your next jewelry purchase. Expect to see brands offering way more options, from affordable pieces to high-end luxury. You're going to see a lot more about ethical materials and official certifications. Get ready to use virtual try-on tools from your living room couch. And get this, brands are going to focus way more on telling you a great story, not just selling you a thing.
And if you're wondering how they're going to get your attention, this is it. Brands are pouring their money and energy into 3 key things: getting big on TikTok, creating cool collaborations on Instagram, and making the act of giving a gift feel like a whole special experience. This right here, this is exactly why your feed looks the way it does.
So if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this: your choices matter a lot. Every single time you decide to support a brand because you believe in their ethics, or you buy that ring for yourself just because you crushed a goal at work, you are sending a powerful signal. You, your values, your wallet, are the single biggest force shaping where this whole industry goes next. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. We've seen that jewelry is becoming so much more than just a pretty accessory. It's turning into a form of storytelling. So the real question isn't just, what do I want to wear today? It's, when I put this on, what story am I choosing to tell?